So if you've been here before, you've heard me talk about this time that we are in sneakers right now. It's a great time if you're a collector. Not so great probably if you're a retailer or if you're one of these big brands, of course, the biggest being Nike. We saw what happened recently with the Fear 4s, the Olive 9s, and of course, the OG classic that I love, the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. Those pairs dropped, a lot of pairs dropped, a lot of pairs still in stores, right? Still, on shelves in a lot of places. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I know a lot of people look down and say, sneakers dead or they dying. And I'm always of the mind to say no. Things are just settling down and returning back to some kind of normal cadence that we were before the hype era, the resale era. And of course, it's that time of year. December's here. We're a couple weeks away from the usual every year holiday drop, of course, being the Air Jordan 11. And I'm just not hearing a super amount of hype for the upcoming release. So I want to talk about it today. I actually got a chance to get a pair in hand. That's the Air Jordan 11 Columbia. And I just want to know, is the holiday 11 kind of losing its holiday magic? All right, y'all. So thanks for stopping back by the channel. Your boy Trey, aka Daddy Seed. If you've been here before, I appreciate you vibing, supporting our content, coming back. All the shares, the likes, the comments, chopping it up with us in the, online here, across the socials, at Real Daddy Seed on IG and Twitter, TikTok, all those things. Thanks for that. And if you haven't been here before, do me a quick favor, hit that notification bell down below so you're gonna stay on top of the content as we drop it. We talk sneakers all the time, a lot of things, a lot of content coming and on the way. So yeah, we just gonna get into this today. Again, the Air Jordan 11 Columbia, or they renaming it Legend Blue. I don't know about that name. Columbia is back in my day because it was the Columbia Blue was the color that's on that shoe. We got the OG box. That box top that you see there is the lid that was on this shoe when it did drop back in 1996. Tissue paper, they've got the print on it like the carbon fiber that's on the bottom plate of the shoe. And let's just get into it. Ooh. Now this pair, that's pretty. This pair came courtesy of last week's Shop Drop on a sneakers app. And of course, this shoe dropped at like 5 p.m. on a Shop Drop, which is not normal. Late time frame for this shoe to drop. I wasn't able to hit, or actually didn't go for it, but my buddy Wes at Be More Sneakers, thanks for letting me borrow this pair to drop a review for you guys. That's my guy. And yeah, in hand, beautiful, beautiful shoe. Everything we're hearing and looking at is that this is as close to the OG as we've seen on a Jordan 11, as of recent years. You get a lower cut on the patent leather that's going around the shoe. The patent leather here is a little thicker than what we had on last year's Gratitude pair, because I swear, like that pair, people were wearing them, and after like one wear, the patent leather was creasing and denting up all over the place. Myself, I love this shoe, man. It's a beautiful shoe. I'm just not the biggest fan of rocking white shoes because they get dirty. It's hard to keep them pristine, and I like to keep my shoes nice and neat. But it is a pair that I probably will pick up eventually. All right, so we get the other shoe. This is the right shoe there. And yeah, the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. So this shoe dropped originally in 1996. I was actually in college when this shoe dropped. A friend worked for local shoe stores, Shoe City, and was able to hook me up with a pair back when they did drop. I had the OGs. And the funny thing with this shoe is that, it was new at the time. And, of course, Michael Jordan wore this shoe, like, I think it was 2 weeks after the release. He wore it in the 1996 All-Star game. So seeing him on his feet, their uniforms were like a light blue. It wasn't the same light blue, but like an aqua color. And it, matched, obviously, with what he was wearing there. And that was a big deal. Back in our day, the shoe released, and you see it on Michael Jordan's feet. So sales, I'm sure, were just skyrocketing, right? Like everybody wanted to be like Mike, of course. The shoe is beautiful. And this shoe, though, if you don't like the yellowing that happens to icy soles and things like that, this whole shoe starts to turn yellow. I mean, everything from the straps to the patent leather. And I remember my pair back in the day started yellowing. I ended up playing ball in them eventually, and then, they kind of just went to the scrap heap. Wish I would have held on to them. Who knew, right? But the shoe, man, itself, the icy blue outsole, you got the carbon fiber plate. The white midsole that we all know and love on the Air Jordan 11, the patent leather coming up around the sides, and again, a lower cut on that patent leather than we've seen in some other releases. And in this top section, you don't get that ballistic mesh up here. You get leather all up and down, but you do get the ballistic mesh on the straps, and you get the mesh tongue, right? You get the white rope laces on the shoe. The white rope laces, I'm hearing that supposedly mimics the basketball net. So if you look at it, they really are. It's just like the netting on the basketball hoop. You got the light blue tag on the middle with the Jordan, Jordan name, kind of the way they wrote that on there with the Jumpman. Nothing on the top of the tongue. You got 23 on the back, the Jumpman on that outside heel of the shoe. Then you got the icy blue again with those black kind of foot plates on the bottom. Yeah, so this shoe, man, I mean, it's one that I really, really like, but it's not calling me to cop it. Now, again, 1996 it did release. We got a retro of this back in 2014 was the last year. It's a super clean shoe, and in good weather, maybe when the weather gets nice, springtime rolls around, I could rock this. I mean, I'm eventually going to circle back for sure. But I mean, I think, of course, with all the pairs that are going to be dropping, there's going to be a billion of these, of course. And we're already seeing that it's like the men's pair, the toddler pair, the grade school pair, even down to baby booties. So like anyone and everyone and their babies will have a pair of these, I'm sure, coming up in 2025, right after this drop happens in December. It's the holidays, it's a repetition. Every year we get that tradition. But is it losing steam? I need to know, because I feel like the hype for this, I don't know, the masses go for it because it's so widely available, but is there hype for it? Like, are people super excited to get this shoe? Let me know down in the comments. You plan on copping a pair or two? A lot of people say, yeah, it's a double up for them. I love OG pairs for sure. That's my favorite pairs that Michael Jordan wore. I mean, we see so many Jordan 11s, right? You got everything, obviously the OGs. I pulled them out here. I got, these are Bred 11s. So these are 2012 pair. And honestly, and I've worn them a good amount of times, but they still look like brand new shoes. Like they're like fresh, like they're not old at all. But again, that patent leather from back in the day was thicker, and it didn't crease up and bend all up so your shoe didn't get beat to all hell, right? Classic shoe. I don't have some of the others, don't have the Concords, but I do have, these are the Gratitudes from last year. Again, that lighter, thinner patent leather along the shoe. And again, a higher cut on the side. And if you want to see the difference, maybe a little hard to see here. Just the way that side is cut, slightly higher on the Gratitudes. But overall, you get the tumbled leather around that upper of the shoe, which is really nice. The Jumpman in gold, right? These are like the DMPs or whatever. And yeah, man, I'm a big fan. You got the tag on the inside too, can't forget that. Quality basketball products inspired by the greatest player ever, right? Classic shoe, classic pair. What do y'all think? Is it losing its magic? Are these still hype? Are you still going for them? Your friends going for them? Everybody excited? And we know we've got a ton of things coming for 2025. Where do you rank these as on your cop list to close out the year? Is it a must? Maybe? Or you gonna wait and see? All right, do me a favor, sub up on your way out. Make sure you hit me on IG and all the socials at Real Daddy Seed. Love to hear from y'all. We got a lot more things on the way. I'll talk to you on the next. Peace.